Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy LT the Sage coming to you. League of Legends. That's right, League of Legends. I am back, y'all, ready to go ahead and jump into this new season, season 12, I believe, right? And we're gonna be going over the patch notes for you guys, going over what I'm thinking, and you're gonna see another champion pool video tomorrow. Getting ready to go into this season and taking care of business. Streaming here on YouTube exclusively, okay? Exclusive on YouTube. My leagues, my videos, everything. You're gonna see it here. So don't touch that dial. You already touched it, then you're already off the channel. You already saw. You was like, man, I can't take this guy. Hey, listen, I don't need you. Let's jump into the patch notes. I do need you. Don't leave. Please don't go. That was suck. That was bad. Yee. Yo, so all right, y'all. So patch 12.1 notes. Let's go ahead and read what Rito has to say to us. Happy New Year, folks. Welcome to season 2022. We're kicking off the new rank season with a soft reset, changes to decay, and some visual updates. We also have a few champion and item balances, changes to teleport, plus a couple of beautiful new Elderwood skins. Well, let's get right on to it, shall we? Let's get at it. Check out how TFT is kicking off the year, that the TFT patch notes, which I will also record for you guys, and I'll put a link up here to that TFT patch note reading as well, if you're interested in that, because I will be playing a lot of TFT as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the patch highlights. It's a 12.1. Looks like two major nerfs. We got Rek'Sai getting a nerf, and Sona also in the support role getting a nerf, and we got two buffs coming in, and we got Diana getting a buff as well as Gangplank getting a buff as well. And so let's go ahead and see some system changes as well. Eclipse and a Force of Nature buff. I hope they change Force of Nature just a little bit. I feel like the magic resist in the game needs a little assistance. That's just me personally, coming from someone who plays bruisers and tanks a lot. Force of Nature needs maybe just a little bit, just a little nudge, okay, to help it be on par with Spirit Visage. Immortal Bow changes Wits In and Teleport. So Teleport is the big one, y'all, and we're gonna get into those below. But Elderwood Rek'Sai, how they gonna nerf my boy after he's getting a fresh skin? But Elderwood Gnar as well looks beautiful, and they also give you some of that ranked visual update goodness, how it's gonna look. And I tell you right now, we're gonna be on that bottom tier with that diamond and master borders. Okay, we're gonna be pushing hard, and if you guys know, when the Sage gets into it, the Sage gets into it. So let's go ahead and jump into the champions here. Diana, passive AP ratio and monster damage ratio increased. Okay, many have come to enjoy Diana jungle since our changes earlier this year, even while she's been distinctly underpowered. Interesting. We're putting some power back into that role while giving her a bit of a buff that she can also use in mid. Passive, Moonsilver Blade. AP ratio went up by 10%, and her monster damage ratio went up from 250 to 300. What does this do? Basically, you're going to see Diana in your jungles all early season. Just keep that in mind. You're going to be seeing Diana a lot. This AP ratio is a big buff, and you might even see her in mid as kind of a counter assassin type, because she actually does do a good job, or does well into some of those very hyper aggressive champions. Katarina, to my knowledge, Zed is she does okay into Zed. Those type of champions, Talon, those very mid aggressive champions. And she also does very well into team fights. And with that AP ratio going up and monster damage ratio, look out for Diana coming from the jungle and just popping her all on you. Gangplank, Q mana cost and cooldown reduced. Gangplank's parlay is not as powerful in lane after Grasp was nerfed on him, so we're letting him use it more often. Okay, I don't know why they're doing this, but if you're going to be running top lane and you got it, you're against the GP, his mana costs are lower early game for Q parlay, and his cooldown is about a 0.5 seconds slower. What does that mean? That means you're going to be getting popped in your face a lot more, and he's going to be a lot more oppressive in the early game with that Q. So keep that in mind. My melee bruisers up top and melee tanks. If you're against the GP, it's going to be you're going to be wanting to pressure him a little bit more, or you're going to just get popped in the face with that gun. Rek'Sai, now this one was a nerf. He's coming out with that sweet Elderwood skin, unburrowed E base damage adjusted, burrowed E cooldown increased late. Rek'Sai is a bit too strong in skilled play, especially when she maxes E first. We're targeting exactly that while leaving her normal Q max builds relatively unchanged. As a reminder, E Furious Bites damage gets doubled and converted to true damage at maximum Fury stack. So it's basically what people were doing in high elo situations, skill play. This is really not gonna, this adjustment probably won't affect lower Qs, but skilled play, pro play. It looks like they were maxing E first to get calculated ganks off, max Fury, and then a boop boop bop them, heavy damage. It's heavy damage all game, to be honest with you. Rek'Sai is a beast, and if I were to ever jungle, Rek'Sai would be one of my champs to pull. I always do good within an ARAMs. Furious Bite plus 85% bonus AD is lowered a little bit, and then the tunnel cooldown is also lowered a little bit. So just keep that in mind. Your E is weaker on Rek'Sai, but the Q build and Q max, which most people in a regular circumstance does, you're fine. Sona, armor growth reduced, E cooldown increased. Sona's been overperforming in skilled play and pushing the limit in other brackets ever since Archangel Staff was changed in preseason. We're tapping down on her power by slightly reducing her durability and ability cast frequency. So her armor growth, she's even squishier, which I don't know if I didn't even know that was possible, but E Song of Celerity is going to have a little bit 2 seconds where you're going to be able to pop that again. And again, with cooldown at the end of the game, it's still going to be pretty strong. Sona is, she's one of those scaling supports where in the early game, she's super squish. This isn't going to help, but in game, she's kind of busted in game. So later as the game goes. Now, this is what I'm interested. Let's see some items. Let's see if we can, get my cane top popping off with some of these item changes. Eclipse. Despite being weak overall, Eclipse was the strongest lethality mythic before preseason. We overdid its buffs a bit in 11.23, so we're partially reverting those. This change also applies to its Ornn Masterwork item, Sizji. Ever Rising Moon cooldown, melee, 6 to 8 seconds. So basically, your melee cooldown on Ever Rising Moon is a stat passive on this weapon. It is going to take 2 seconds longer for it to refresh. So again, a little bit of a buff on timing, kind of cutting down on how I think burst is the big thing they're talking about, cutting down on some of that burst. If you're extending out these cooldowns, you got to understand it's going to take longer for you to burst people out and for you to kind of do another burst after that. So instead of, a 12-second fight, you getting 2 of these off, you're gonna have to be in that fight for 16 seconds, which a lot can happen in League of Legends in 4-second differentials. So, and most team fights are between that 10 and 16-second time frame. Force of Nature, let's see what they're doing here. Force of Nature's payout was a bit too hard to reach due to the stack duration. Correct. It's also been a bit weaker than its counterpart, Spirit Visage. It has. So naturally, we're adding more force to make it the heavy magic resist item. Absorb stack duration 7 seconds. Thank you. That way, you're really going to be feeling that speed buff. I think this is going to help a lot of tanks. You're going to want to, if you really need the speed to catch up to some of these mobile champions, you really need that stack duration increase, and they did that. That's awesome. Dissipate magic damage reduction 25%. Cool. So that it's a little bit buffier, a little bit more buff on the magic resist side. I would like that to go to 30%. Honestly, I don't think 5% is really, you're not going to really feel it too much, but that absorb stack duration is going to be key. Beautiful, beautiful. Immortal Shield Bow. Immortal Shield Bow has made some marksmen and fighters a bit too immortal. I agree as well. We're bringing it down a bit so that there are larger trade-offs to consider when comparing it to the other marksman mythics. Its Ornn Masterwork Bloodword will now have 65 AD and the same changes. Attack damage is going down, okay, on the Immortal. And then the Lifeline Shield is based on level. Looks like early levels down 25. And then at the end game, this is big, down 150. So Immortal Shield Bow is one of those items that is really frustrating. And one of those things where it's almost necessary trade-off in this game because of how damage is operating right now. But Immortal Shield Bow is basically giving you a second chance at life with all the life steal. Once you pop that shield, you can't, it's like it's impervious to damage. It feels that way as the attacker. And I don't know if this is going to change it. I think 150 base shield at the end game is cool. You know, the reduction of it, but I think it's still going to be a very strong weapon for AD carries to survive in those mid to late game fights with assassins and echoes and you know, just these combo burst champions that if you get caught out once, you're dead. And so this does help and save them from getting away or giving a couple more seconds to do more damage so they can win those team fights. Wits End. I have a strong Wits End. To me is such a weird item because it's so offensive, but it has defensive capabilities with magic resist. I feel like I wish it had some type of health capacity and it was really strictly a bruiser item, but let's see what they do with it. Wits End has been powerful as an early defensive and offensive option for attack speed champions. However, considering its threat as a DPS item, its build path and stats counter magic damage a bit too much too early. Okay, so I have seen a couple of champions go Wits End early right away, especially when they're against magic champions. So build path is no longer this. It's Hearthbound Axe, Null Magic Mantle Pickaxe with 675 gold. Magic resist down 40. So basically when you rush this item, it's going to have harder, less of a payoff to rush this item if you're trying to counter a magic, a magic champion in your lane. So that's cool. Here's the big change. So we're going to go over the information. I'm going to give you my thoughts of what Sage is thinking is going to happen and why I'm almost wanting to go top lane for the grind, top and mid. But one second, let's go ahead and go through the teleport because it's a lot. Teleport. While League of Legends is indeed a team game, it generally evolves in phases. As the game progresses, you interact with your team more. Lane phase lets you flex your individual skills, but it also needs some outside influence to keep things from getting too predictable. However, right now there's too much disruption happening too early and too often. This is especially the case with frequent teleport fights in bot lane. And this isn't bad for bot laners only. Top and mid players also lose out on the ability to express their laning skills in the same way. What you have to understand is that when one person teleports down the bot, it puts exponential pressure on that other mid laner and the top laner to push, right? And before, because of the time frames and how it was working, there was trade-offs. You could teleport, maybe get a kill, maybe get an assist, but in top lane you would farm more. You'd be able to push the towers. You'd be able to kind of apply pressure on the map because of their teleport. It just feels like at this point and juncture in the game, teleporting, you have to follow teleports, and teleport is just a finite thing. You have to do it every game, and you have to apply pressure bot lane because bot lane is one of those the most volatile lane in the whole entire game, right? There's more bodies there, so there's more potential to flip a game over if you attack bot lane because you can get 2 for the price of 1. Whereas if you go to another lane, you're only getting 1 kill, right? So that's the big thing about it. And this is big. This is going to change the whole outlook of the game. I wouldn't say it's going to push it forward. I think it's going to revert it back to what it used to be, where individual skill is much more important. CSing is much more important. And, reading your opponent and warding for jungle pressure, etc. All those things that you still need to do now. But those things are going to really, kind of excel forward. Let's go ahead. Currently, it often feels like bot lane gets decided by outside influence, which is true, and mid and top get decided by the influence they have on bot lane rather than how well they play their own lane. This is 100% correct. Teleport also tends to crowd out other summoner spells because when wielded properly, it flexibly offers both safety and a high level of game influence. Today, you can use it to quickly get back to your own lane and farm, but you can also use it to intervene in other lanes. In an effort to bring back some balance, we're reshaping the spell by tempering its offensive capabilities early, and then upgrading it later on to retain its exciting mid to late game impact. So, updated teleport cooldown, 360 seconds at all levels. That's right, all levels. So it's going to be a very long summoner cooldown for the whole entire game now, no matter where you're at. New, Unleashed Teleport. Teleport can only be used on ally towers, okay? Once tower plating falls at 14 minutes, teleport transforms into Unleashed Teleport, which can target ally towers, minions, wards, and certain allied constructs, same as the previous seasons. Unleashed Teleport cooldown, 240 seconds. What does this mean? This means that tower plating, okay, is when teleport is usable, basically usable. You can use teleport beforehand in the early game, but you can only teleport to your own towers, okay? You can't teleport to minions. You can't teleport to wards. You can't teleport to other players. You can only teleport to allied towers. So the only time this is good early game is if a team is just completely just tower diving somebody, and you need to go and you want to go in there and try to stop them from tower diving your bot lane and completely decimating them, getting 3-4 kills, etc. You can do that. You can still do that early game if you so need to, but this is gonna bring back some interesting things, because what I think is going to happen, and this is just me using my sage brain here, what I think is going to happen is this is going to completely bring back the early game champions. Renekton comes to mind, top lane. I feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Champions like Renekton, Draven, Caitlyn. Caitlyn is such a lane bully. These champions are going to come back because for the first 14 minutes of a game, it is jungle pressure, and that's it. That's all you need to worry about. Jungle pressure. It's you against the laner. It's you against the laner. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. And it's a good thing, because I think that League of Legends definitely needs to bring back some of that skill expression. But it's a bad thing because it's going to be harder to rectify mistakes. You make a mistake in lane, you die once to a Renekton in lane, you're probably not going to have a fun game. You die to a Draven bot lane, you give him a double kill, maybe whatever the case may be. You slipped and fell, you dropped a drink. It doesn't matter. Draven's going to now ram his axes right up your butthole, okay, the rest of the game. Okay, so you know that it's going to be you're going to get people getting frustrated. We already know what's going to happen. And so it's going to be it's going to be changed, but it's also going to revert some of that old school League of Legends feel. I'm thinking the first couple of weeks, and I think that they don't change. I think this is a great change, though. It just needs to change up, even if it's a new bad, right? I think that it's okay that it's a new bad, right? But we need something new. Now we're going to get into the rank season 2022 information. Rank season start in Split 1. The Summoner's Rift rank season 2022 begins on Friday, January 7, 2022. That's in a couple days, y'all. So Friday night, be here or be square. I don't know why I said that. Check the table below to see what time it starts in your region. All ranked accounts will receive a soft reset of 5 tiers for initial seeding. For example, Gold 1 will become Silver 2. So we'll probably fall somewhere in the silver to end of bronze. We'll get back into silver real quick, and probably the start of the grind will be somewhere in the middles of silver to end of silver. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be following my progress. So let's go ahead and check my states. This is for all your states. I'll go a little bit slow if there's people from out of country watching the video. But here you go. It's January 7th, so it's going to start in the morning. So I'm not going to be able to stream Friday morning. So it's going to be Friday evening when I will start my my big old 10 to 12 game startup there. This also marks the beginning of the Summoner's Rift Rank Split 1. The exclusive awards for Split 1 are as follows: Vex Summoner Icon, Vex Emotes, Vex Champion Permanent. If you need Vex, you can get her for free, basically, if you exclusive awards to the rank split. Series 1 Eternals capsule. For more information about ranked seasons and splits, check out the player support page if you so need to. Changes to Apex tier decay. Decay rules for the Apex tiers, aka Masters, Grandmasters, and Challengers, are changing in season 2022. These changes are intended to correct misplacements and improve the matchmaking experience. Note that these only apply to Apex tiers. Diamond decay rules are not changing this season. So that tells you right there. Bank days for Apex players is 14 days now. Decay rate 75 LP for a day, which is way less than the 250 it was doing it before. And the Apex decay floor is Diamond 2. So that's pretty nice. That's very nice for those people in those higher tiers, the Masters and Grandmasters. There's not as much. But still 10 to 14 days, 4 days. If you weren't playing for 10 days and haven't been able to, bank days or get days going, then you're probably going to hit that 14-day anyway. Here's some more close up of those visual updates for the tiers. We're laying the groundwork for the new challenges feature, which will arrive later this year. You'll see some visual updates to your ranked identity and game lobby starting this patch. Ranked armor has transformed into ranked crest. Check out your rank's fresh new look in your profile, ranked page, game lobby, and friends list. Ranked crests also have ambient magic. Loading screen borders have been updated to match the new ranked crest. Several parts of the game lobby UI have been rearranged for clarity. So this is the new ranked armor kind of. They're trying to add some individuality to the league, give you guys some expression of, looks, kind of trying to figure out a way to not only get, throw some money so we can throw some money at it, but also just other than skins, they're probably, and this is, I always want to think on a top level. So they're probably like, other than skins, how can we get them to express how they want to look on a UI basis? And this is probably what they came up with. So whatever. Forge God Clash. In celebration of Rank Season 2022 start, there will be a special Forge God Clash tournament with the following special Forge God theme rewards: 3 trophies, 3 banners, 5 team logos. Forge God Clash will only take place on one weekend. Team formation opens on January 10th. Which matches taking place on January 15th and 16th. Forge God Clash is not part of the regular Clash season. You still be able to earn Forge God theme rewards, but your Clash VB track won't be affected. The first Clash tournament of season 2022, which will count towards the VB track, will be in patch 12.4. So you got a couple mini patches to go before you can go ahead and start that VB track on your Forge God Clashes. Bug fixes and QOL changes. And this one here, behavioral systems, intentional feeding detection has been improved. We'll see. To evaluate more variables, and we'll go live to all regions this patch. We'll see. We'll see if that changes. Intentional feeding is hard to monitor, especially because people are smart about it. But we'll see when we're doing our games, because in silver elo, gold elo, we're gonna have some intentional feeders who get angry, who get upset. They're not having, their milk spilled on the floor. They got to mop it up in between the games, and they're, whatever. Their homework's hard, all that stuff. Objective bounties. Targets with active objective bounties now have different health bars indicate their bounty status. Okay. Fix the bug where Kled, I don't like to hear that. Kled is OP, would sometimes respond with an incorrect amount of health. Okay, a lot of Kled, looks like a lot of Kled issues here. Yeah, a lot of Kled issues. Caitlyn, fix ACM Arc Ultimate Cooldown Reduction passive will now scale correctly with the Ultimate Hunter rune, so that's good. I'm just looking through here to see if there's anything that you guys need to see. I don't see anything like this. I don't see anything crazy. Okay. Upcoming skins and chromas. So we got the Elderwood Gnar skin. Again, we talked about it earlier. Just a bigger splash of that Rek'Sai skin. Beautiful. You know, it looks amazing. And Gnar skin looks good too. So that's it. That's it for the patch notes. If you guys please put into the bottom how you feel about the patch notes, specifically the teleport changes. Do you like the new teleport changes, or are you scared that we're going to be getting back into early game Terra land with some of these champions? Renekton should send shivers down my spine. I'm telling you right now. Renekton and LeBlanc, those are the two champions. I don't care how long in league I decide to play, I will never play those champions. They send just straight shivers down my spine, especially as a Yorick main, top lane Trundle. Renekton just swipe 2 times and then swiping me in the face with his claws, and then all of a sudden my health has gone down and it's gone, it's depleted. I don't like it. Or LeBlanc where it's like dash and it's like you're dead. So it's like it's very upsetting to me to see, but I also like it because one of my strong suits is the mental aspect of the game. So I love the fact that some champions, if you can get through that initial 14 minutes as a mid-game champion, you can come out strong CS and take over those games. And then it's a matter of team fighting, prowess, and your skill against another equally skilled player. You can figure out what it is. My strongest time in seasons is when team fights were the reasoning for wins. It wasn't about anything else other than mid game, first team fight, in front of that tower, who's better than who. And so that's what I hope it gets back to. Either way, where there's a will, there's a way. So you guys already know. Thank you so much for listening to the patch notes. If you made it over here, give me a yosh in the description below. Also, look out. I'm gonna have videos for the next couple of days going over what I'm gonna be doing in my champion pool and getting ready for Friday, the big day for streaming and the big day for the league starts. The new season starts, new split. So exciting stuff. I'll see you guys out there on the Rift. And again, always follow your ninja way, my brothers and sisters. Peace.
'Cause no one knows what I